All right, guys, so you knew it was coming, right? You knew it was coming, okay? You knew we was going to get a super woke, ultra woke, super saiyan woke take about the outcome of the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, in which Johnny Depp successfully sued and won against Amber Heard in a defamation case, in which, Amber Heard told the Washington Post that she was a victim of domestic abuse, accused Johnny Depp of being an abuser, okay? And Johnny Depp sued her for defamation, basically saying, look, I'm not an abuser, okay? And she lied. She lied to try to smear my name, right? And Amber Heard countersued back to say that Johnny Depp's lawyer defamed her when Johnny Depp's lawyer claimed that she constructed a hoax doing a 911 call to try to make it look like Johnny Depp was abusing her, beating her, okay? So with that being said, Amber Heard basically humiliated herself during this trial, as she basically could not prove that Johnny Depp actually abused her, which is why she lost and Johnny Depp won. Now, most reasonable people can agree with the outcome here, right? In the sense that this woman falsely accused this man of abusing her with very little evidence, or at least not enough evidence to convince the jury that he actually abused her. But actually, there's a lot more evidence that she, in fact, abused him, okay? And you would think that the woke revolutionaries and the feminist types out there would be happy about this case that seems to solidify equal rights, right? Which is what they claim they want, right? They want equal rights. But we all know that what equal rights actually means, it actually means special rights and superiority for women. That's actually what it means, because they want to live in a world where women can freely abuse men with no consequences, right? With no accountability. But again, if a man puts his hands on a woman, then hey, that guy's a domestic abuser and should be locked up for the rest of his life, okay? And even if the woman is lying about the domestic abuse, there should be no consequences for her, because she's a woman, right? And we're supposed to believe all women no matter what, even if it is clear that they're lying. Right? That is the world that a lot of these people live in. That is the world that this woke author, Miss Candace McDuffie, lives in, okay? As her reaction to the Amber Heard trial verdict really does tell you that some of these people are they're just too far gone, man. Right? They just can't be helped at all, okay? As she claims that the Amber Heard verdict sends a message to black women everywhere. Quote, if the mistreatment of a wealthy, blonde-haired, blue-eyed white actress is ridiculed by the world, what does that mean for black women? She's acting like black women somehow, lost their rights, or that this is somehow an L for black women because of what happened to Amber Heard, because Amber Heard, has some type of racial privilege, right, that black women don't have. And if she can be treated so badly, then, imagine how bad they can treat black women, okay? Black women who falsely accuse their husbands of abuse, right? Just imagine how bad they're going to treat those women, right, who make these false allegations. Wow, incredible stuff. So let's actually read here. On Wednesday, a jury in Virginia decided that actor Johnny Depp had been defamed by ex-wife Amber Heard and her 2018 op-ed published by the Washington Post. Depp was awarded $15 million in compensatory and punitive damages, but could only legally receive up to $10.35 million. Heard did win one claim in the case and received $2 million. Quote, I'm heartbroken that the mountain of evidence still was not enough to stand up to the disproportionate power, influence, and sway of my ex-husband, Heard said in a statement shortly after the verdict was announced. Quote, I'm even more disappointed with what this verdict means for other women. It is a setback. It sets back the clock to a time when a woman who spoke up and spoke out could be publicly shamed and humiliated. It sets back the idea that violence against women is to be taken seriously, she elaborated. The main group of women that this sets back are women who make these false accusations, right? Women that come out here and try to smear men and destroy their reputations and their careers with these bunk claims of abuse, right? Women that don't have any real evidence that this stuff actually happened, okay? Because if Amber Heard was so concerned about women, right, and women that are actually being abused, then she would not have defamed this man and accused him of domestic abuse without sufficient evidence to prove that he was actually a domestic abuser. Because now it makes the women that actually are going through domestic abuse, it makes it so, hey, you know what? It might be harder to believe all women. For example, like the woman that accused Amber Heard of domestic violence back in 2019, in which Amber Heard was arrested for allegedly abusing her girlfriend. Okay, it's a setback for women like Amber Heard's girlfriend, right? So again, you're really doing a disservice to yourself. You're exposing the women that come forward with false allegations with no proof. And the women that are actually being set back here are the women that actually have real allegations of domestic abuse, okay? That is the only setback here, okay? But more so than anything, she really did a disservice to herself. She embarrassed herself throughout this whole trial by putting on this charade, okay? But let's read a little bit more here. If the mistreatment of a wealthy, blonde-haired, blue-eyed white actress is ridiculed by the world, what does that mean for black women? Well, that's an easy question. It just means that black women can't falsely accuse their spouses or partners of domestic abuse, right? They can't falsely accuse them of that in order to smear their careers and get away with it. That's what it means. And again, you would think that society, that reasonable people would agree that that's a good thing, but this author doesn't think it's a good thing, okay? Because this author apparently believes all women. You notice how they use the word mistreat and not abuse, right? Mistreat as if it is factual. It is factual that this wealthy, blonde-haired, blue-eyed white actress was mistreated by Johnny Depp. Now, the reality is, do I know whether or not Johnny Depp abused or mistreated her? I really don't know because I wasn't there, right? But I would tend to believe, based off the trial and the evidence presented, that he probably did not actually put his hands on her, okay? He did not abuse her, okay? Now, if you want to call getting in an argument and saying mean things about her to his friend in a text message, then I guess you could define that as mistreatment. I don't know. But he did not physically strike her, okay? Or, you know, abuse her, at least not from the evidence that I've seen, okay? And the jury believes the same thing, because if they believe that he actually did abuse her, he would have lost the case. However, that is not what happened here. But again, this person right here, they don't care about facts, right? They don't care about the evidence. They're going to run their narrative that you have to believe all women no matter what, okay? And then on top of that, you got to throw race in it and to say that, well, if this white woman wasn't believed, right, then what does that mean for black women, right? That means he definitely won't believe black women, okay? yeah, this stuff, it's to the point where it's actually like comical, right? This is an article I'm not even sure the Babylon Bee would have wrote. For 6 weeks, Heard testified how Depp not only sexually abused her, but also physically assaulted her throughout their relationship. She claimed that he headbutted her as well as punched her and dragged her around by her hair. Heard maintains that everything she wrote in the op-ed entitled, quote, "I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change," was true. Depp denied all allegations of abuse. Again, this is stuff that she said that the jury did not believe, that she did not have sufficient evidence to prove, because all she had to do is just prove that one incident, one allegation of abuse was correct, right, was true, and Johnny Depp would have lost, right? Because therefore what she said in the Washington Post would not have been defamation. But she couldn't even prove one allegation as true to the jury, right? They didn't believe one, okay? And again, guys, this is in a judicial system that favors women heavily when it comes to these types of accusations, right? Women have a significant advantage when it comes to these type of cases, okay? Which just showed you how weak her case was. For black women who do not have whiteness or fame or money to protect them, Heard's words of the verdict as a setback ring especially true. Whether you believe her or not, the way the world treated her was downright cruel and uncalled for. Not only were her bruises placed under a microscope by forensic experts during the trial, social media joined in on the skepticism. So basically what she's saying is that everything that Amber Heard says, right, should be believed. All the evidence that she presents should be taken as factual. You shouldn't scrutinize the evidence at all because she's a woman. And basically saying that, hey, you can't hold women accountable for anything, right? You can't hold women accountable for anything. Heard was turned into everything from memes to murals mocking the validity of her abuse. Some even believed Depp when he said that she was the aggressor in the relationship. If all of Heard's privilege couldn't protect her from such viciousness, black women, like always, remain even more vulnerable. Hold on now. Again, there's much more evidence that she abused him, okay, than him abusing her, okay? I mean, allegedly, she threw a bottle at this guy and ended up, like, basically severing the tip of one of his fingers, okay? Which they have evidence, like actual photographic evidence of the dude's finger, okay? So again, what this author is saying here is that when it comes to a man's word versus a woman's word, women should always be believed no matter what. They should face no criticism, no skepticism, no accountability. And men are always lying, right? Men are always wrong. You cannot believe that Johnny Depp as a man was actually abused by a woman, because it's impossible. It is impossible for a woman to abuse a man. Again, these are the same people who tell you that women can do anything that a man can do, but apparently a woman can't abuse a man, right? Again, y'all understand how this woke feminist logic works here? It makes no sense whatsoever. As we've seen from Tina Turner to Rihanna, from Meg Thee Stallion to the dozens of young black women R. Kelly abused, our pain becomes punchlines and our humanity is invalidated. Now, I don't know about Nina Turner and Rihanna, but I think that Meg Thee Stallion's allegations are bunk, right? So I don't know why she's throwing Meg Thee Stallion's name in there. And with R. Kelly, I mean, look, there are some people who are going to defend R. Kelly to the day that he dies, right? I mean, that's just kind of how it goes with certain celebrities. But I'm not out here defending R. Kelly, right? What happened to Heard is another vow reminded to women, particularly black women, that nothing can guarantee our safety. So basically, if, you know, the world can ridicule and mock a wealthy white woman for lying about her allegations of abuse, imagine what happens to a black woman who is lying about her allegations of abuse, right? She'll be mocked even more, right? That's essentially the argument that this person is making. But again, what this person is missing here, one, is that you shouldn't believe all women, first and foremost, that Amber Heard cannot prove that she was actually abused. And two, women who defame men and make up these lies about abuse, right, should actually be mocked. Yeah, they should be mocked. They should be treated the same exact way that Amber Heard is being treated right now, okay? They should be humiliated. An example should be made out of them as a warning to other women who come forward with these false allegations, right, that they can't prove in court. That's exactly what should happen, right? And black women, if you're not making up false claims, okay, then you have nothing to worry about, right? You have nothing to worry about whatsoever. If anything, black women, or any woman really that is actually going through this type of stuff, they should be mad at Amber Heard for coming forward with such bunk allegations without evidence to be able to prove them to be true. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.